Ms. Arlen, I think we'll just go ahead and start. Planning Commission will come to order. Good evening, Merry Christmas. Glad everybody could make it tonight, and the minutes. Ms. Arlen, do you have minutes for us?
Ready, roll call first.
Oh, okay, roll call.
David Dahl,
I'm here.
Margot Mullen, Brendan Sanders,
I'm here.
Greg Sutton, John Scott Walker,
Here.
Colleen Murphy White,
Present.
Thank
Phil
you.
Span.
Here.
And there's Mark.
Margaret's here.
Margot's here.
Sorry.
Well, while we wait for Margaret to get seated, the city attorney asked me for time at the end of the meeting tonight, so if I forget that, I hope someone here on the board will remind me. She wants to brief us on what's coming legally down the road. And with that, I'll ask for minutes, please. Ms. Arlen.
There are two sets of minutes for your approval tonight, October 28th and November 12th.
Got them here, I'll get them afterwards. Anybody have any comment on the minutes? Can I get a motion to approve those two sets?
Move to approve.
Second. Thank you. And that should take care of that. We'll sign it at the end. And correspondence. Do we have any correspondence?
No correspondence,
Thank you, ma'am. And old business.
no old business.
We're moving right along tonight. This is good. This is an open public hearing, and I'm going to brief just how we conduct it normally. And most of them go normally, some don't, but most do. We just heard the correspondence in old business. Ms. Ireland will read the application from the applicant on each one of our items tonight. We have three. The applicant needs to stand in, swear to the clerk. There'll be a quick oath, and once that swearing is complete, there are speaker cards, and I have two tonight. I have one for 3319 and one for 3519, and the speakers will come up after the applicant. Then we can have any discussion. That'll end up open meeting. We'll go to Planning Commission only, and we'll close the public hearing, and we'll deliberate, and then we'll vote, and there'll be a motion and vote. And if there's no second on the motion, we'll wait for another motion. And we've done that lately too. So with that, Ms. Ireland, can we start?
Yes, sir. PC 3319 is a concept plan for plat application. Property owner is BCEL 10 LLC, 7563 Phillips Highway, Suite 208, Jacksonville, Florida 32256. Applicant address is same as the owner. It's JWB Real Estate Capital. And the property location is the northeast corner of 4th Avenue North and 5th Street North. And the request is for a concept plan for plat approval for a proposed 5-lot fee simple townhouse subdivision located in a residential multiple family RM1 zoning district pursuant to section 34503 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code. The subject property is located on the northeast corner of 4th Avenue North and 5th Street North and exists as vacant property. The owner applicant is proposing to construct a 5-unit fee simple townhouse project on lots 11 and 12. The applicant was advised by staff that concept plan for plat approval would be required to subdivide the property into 5 separate townhouse lots. Each of the 5 proposed lots meets the lot size and dimensional requirements of townhouse projects in RM1 zoning districts. Adjacent uses include single family to the east, multiple and single family to the south, multiple and single family to the east, and a church to the north. I'm sorry, that first part should say single family to the west. The proposed townhouse development is consistent with RM1 standards and is consistent with similar existing developments in multifamily zoning districts.
Thank you, Ms. Ireland. Is the applicant present?
Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please state your name and address for the record.
Curtis Hart, 8051 Pier Lane, Jacksonville, Florida.
As Heather stated, this is an application for residential multifamily RM1 zone for 5 townhome units. Front yard setback is 20 feet, rear yard is 30. In units have 10-foot setback. So the middle units, well, all each unit will be about 16 feet high. Any questions? I'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions from,
Mr. Hart, how wide are the interior lots? 16 feet. Through the chair, Ms. Ireland, is there any variances that we know of?
Based on this site plan, no.
thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Hart.
Thank you.
All right, I have speaker card, Todd Donovan. Please state your name and swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Todd Donovan, 503 4th Avenue North, Jacksonville Beach. Our property is located just to the west of this location. And just recently, we've seen this similar development to the south and then also to the southeast with a number of townhomes, such that adding 5 to this property would add up to, I guess, 14 homes where there used to be 3. So that level of development continues to happen, and we continue to voice issues about drainage in the area, just stormwater drainage. It already has, like a lot of areas in Jax Beach, kind of floods pretty quickly when it rains. So adding this many more townhomes right there where there's already so many more, and we keep asking. They say, yeah, drainage is going to be included in the development process, but what we see happening is they build the home up high so it doesn't flood, and then slope the land out to the street. So all the water, stormwater, runs out into the street. It floods pretty quickly, and that intersection is slowly becoming more and more quickly filling up, even with a small rain. So I just wanted to voice that. I don't know if there's anything we can do to force a stormwater management plan as part of the approval process. But that's just a big concern for us. And I want to go on record.
Thank you for your time, and we understand exactly the issue you're addressing. Ms. Ireland can talk about what the requirements are for the developer as far as drainage goes.
Okay.
At minimum, they'll be required to gutter the entire building, and that's one way that they manage the runoff from the actual property. And usually in a situation like this, there'll be some kind of swales on the side yard, but that's something that gets handled during a building permit. Public Works tells them what they need to do to manage the stormwater runoff.
And if there aren't swales or the swales aren't deep enough to take care of the runoff, that becomes a civil issue that could be addressed. And I think when Ms. May gives us the training, she might be able to speak to that. If I could put her on the hook for that just for a moment, what a private owner could do if they built a pond and their riparian rights rolled down into their property. There are actions for that. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I was wondering if the applicant could come up and talk about his drainage.
As Mrs. Ireland said, we'll be required to gutter the entire site. If there is any type of drainage, as you know, y'all are in a large public works project right now that's shifting your drainage from the ocean to the waterway. We have to capture our water coming off the building. We'll be required to gutter it. We may be required to have a small retention pond in the back or swales on the side. If there is a system, and I'm I'm not sure, but there's a lot of systems in the area. If there's a system that we can tie into, we'll be required to tie into that. Be glad to. We don't want our water to flood our neighbor, sure. And we do have to meet stormwater requirements, and we're glad to do it.
And you can work with the neighbors to,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, for the speaker that came up, sir, I don't recall your name, but is the area currently flooding during storms? Are you currently having a problem, or you just say Jack's Beach in general has a problem?
No, our
Can you speak into the mic too?
Yeah.
I'm screaming.
Our particular intersection does flood pretty quickly, even with a small amount of rain. So that it used to, take quite a bit for it to kind of get over and start flooding our street and then pouring into our yard. But now it seems like just a small rain, because it's all coming off the other properties and just rolling downhill into our intersection there. It kind of finds its way into our yard, which hasn't been, hasn't had the recent development of being built up like the new properties.
Thank you.
Any other speakers?
Any other speakers? I don't have any more cards on 35 or 33, excuse me. Any other comments?
I've got one, and you probably knew this was coming. I do think it's overdue for a look at our residential regulations and our residential future land use, both from a resiliency perspective and also, the kind of compatibility with surrounding land uses. Because we've, in each time we do one of these, we are affecting the character of the neighborhood. I think it's time for a comprehensive look. And you knew I was going to say that. Thank you.
Margaret, I know I was at the planning commission, the council meeting on Monday, and that was addressed, so they are looking into land development code changes.
Any other comments? All right, with that, we'll close the public hearing. If there's any deliberation, or if there's any more deliberation or a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Okay, Ms. Ireland, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Margaret Moran,
Yes.
Bernie Sanders,
Yes.
John Scott Walker,
Yes.
Colleen Murphy White,
No.
David Dahl.
No. All right, that takes us to 3419. Please, Ms. Ireland.
34-19 is a conditional use application. The owner and applicant is Cesar Castillo, 221 North 19th Avenue, Jacksonville Beach, Florida, 32250. Agent representing the application is Fabiola Pacheco, address same as applicant. Property location on your screen, 221 19th Avenue North. And the request is for conditional use approval for a proposed multiple family development for property located in a commercial limited C1 zoning district pursuant to section 342D15 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code. The subject property is located on the north side of 19th Avenue North between 2nd and 3rd Streets. The property contains a small, non-conforming, single-family dwelling constructed in 1957. The owner was advised by staff that due to the non-conforming nature of the property, the existing single-family home could not be expanded in area. However, with proper approvals, he could potentially redevelop the property into a multifamily use. The owner is now requesting approval for a multifamily use in order to add a second dwelling unit onto the back of the existing structure. The owner has also applied for variances related to the proposed addition. Adjacent uses are single family to the east, multiple family to the west, multiple family to the north, and multiple family and office to the south across 19th Avenue North. Considering the primarily residential character of the surrounding properties, the proposed multifamily use of the subject property should not negatively impact adjacent uses.
Thank you, Ms. Arlen. Is the applicant present? Could you come up to the podium, please? We'll get you sworn in, get your name, and hear anything you have to say.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And could you please state your name and address for the record?
Fabiola Pacheco, I live on 221 19th Avenue North, Jacksonville, 32250. And the reason for the application is we live in we live in a commercial zoning. It's a very small house, less than 1,000 square feet, and we want to expand it as a multi-family use. So we are asking, your permission to do that. And also we want to extend our house, adding a garage, just, for our use.
Thank you, Ms. Pacheco. Any questions for the applicant?
I have a question if I may. So you won't be demolishing the existing house,
No.
you'll simply be adding to
The
it?
house is gonna stay, it's gonna remain the same, we're just gonna add another unit on the back of our house, like on the back side.
So if I were looking at it from the front, I would see a second story in just the rear
No,
portion
it
or not?
won't be, it wouldn't be on the back of the house. We have like a big yard on the back of the house, and we're gonna add the second unit, right next to our existing home.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. No speaker cards, so we'll close the public hearing if there's no staff comment. Okay, public hearing's closed. Deliberation and comments, or a motion?
Quick question from Ms. Ireland. Again, is there any variance requests that we know of?
I believe an application was submitted. I don't have the details on it, but it has not gone before the Board of Adjustment
It
yet.
still needs to go through. them?
Yes, it still
Thank you.
needs to go through them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Allen, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Britton Sanders,
Yes.
John Scott Walker,
Yes.
Margaret Warren,
Yes.
Colleen Murphy Wright,
No.
David Dahl.
Yes. Your motion's been approved, and I forgot that on the last one. That motion was approved as well, 3319. Forgot to say that. Okay, we'll move on to 3519, please, Ms. Simon.
PC 35-19 is a conditional use application. Property owner Talavenor LLC, 500 North 3rd Street, Jacksonville Beach, Florida, 32250. Applicant is Tim Barak with Really Good Beer Stop, 323 10th Avenue North, Jacksonville Beach, Florida, 32250. Property location is 323 10th Avenue North. And the request is for conditional use approval to request a modification of the approval conditions for an existing drinking establishment and package store, which were both for beer only, in order to sell wine at a property located in a commercial limited C1 zoning district pursuant to section 34-342D3 and 4 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code. The property is located in a commercial shopping center on the northwest corner of 3rd Street and 10th Avenue North. The applicant received conditional use approval for a beer-only drinking establishment and package store in 2015 under application PC 12-15. The concept was a small retail beer store where growlers could be filled and where customers could sample beer in flights or pints prior to purchase. At the time of the conditional use request, the applicant only planned to sell and serve beer. The applicant is now applying to amend the approval to add the ability to serve and sell wine at the establishment. They were advised by staff that an amendment to the original approval would be required. Adjacent uses consist of the other tenants in the commercial center to the east and west, a mix of residential and commercial uses behind the center to the north, and commercial and restaurant uses across 10th Avenue to the south. The applicant's request should not negatively impact the existing shopping center character or parking.
Thank you, Ms. Ireland. We do have one speaker card on this particular application. And if the speaker is, or if the applicant is present, would you please come on up and swear in and name your address, please?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Tim Brack, 620 10th Avenue North,
Thank you.
Jacksonville Beach, 2250. We have been open for 4.5 years. Everything that Ms. Ireland read is correct. We've had a number of customers ask us if we would be open to allowing them to have wine to drink while they're on site and also to take home as well. The goal is to have a red wine and a white wine. We're still a beer store, and the intention was to just couple with what the customers have been asking us for. It's not changing anything that we've been doing for the last 4.5 years. Our hours will still stay the same as they have been, and that's all we're asking for.
Questions for the applicant? I do have a comment. I have your little 4 or 5 ounce good beer, clear glass, and I use that for wine, kind of French country style. So I'm glad to see you're getting some more.
You're able to do that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, comments. Jim, do you want to come up and make a comment, please?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Jim Sorrell, 428 North 10th Avenue, Jax Beach. My house can be seen from the parking lot of this facility. My main comments here tonight is the fact that this is a prime example as to what we asked for before, is that this applicant's third, this is the third time he's tried to get into this shopping center area. And the residents all did not want them to come in there because of the fact that it was alcohol, not that was it, period. And had he been conditioned as to what he was asking, I wouldn't be here tonight, because he would have probably not an impact on the neighborhood. But there is an impact on the neighborhood. The main thing is this: it's a C1 zoning, and according to the Land Development Code, it is intended to apply to commercial areas that can exist within close proximity to residential areas without creating an adverse effect on the development and character of this area. Now, development's already been made, but the character is what was an issue. This was our biggest concern. And our biggest concern isn't about the parking. This is how he was able to petition and be reheard when he was denied on the second time. So the reason why our neighbors are very concerned about this is as I said, was the alcohol, and it got lost. It wasn't the parking issue. We are very, very, very cognizant of the fact that being good neighbors, we have a church right there that has, you can guess the amount of parking that takes place there on their events. We have a school that we have drop off, pick up. We have traffic there. We have just in general parking on our 10th Avenue there. But this is the problem. When I said alcohol, the problems come in at night. We have acts, and I'm not going to list them, but you go to jail for them when these people come out after having alcohol. I cannot say it's their place. I cannot, because there are others. There's 3 other restaurants there that serve alcohol, but I can tell you this: it has increased since he's moved in. His petition originally said that there would be, that he only has 2 parking spaces allotted for his space. And that was, and the way he's had petitioned this, that is enough for what he wanted. It was for growlers. They come in, get a taste, and go. He and his marketing said that there would not be any seats in that place. Right now, to this day, and shortly after they open, they have 32 seats plus standing.
Mr. Sorrell, your time is up. If you'd finish up, please.
Bottom line is this: the fact that that this was not what he was granted originally, and I don't think we should extend more alcohol in the neighborhood.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Any other speakers? Okay, the public hearing is closed. Open to deliberation. Any comments from commissioners?
Sir, are there any other members? You said that the neighborhood is very adamantly against approving his request. Where's your support?
The support is the fact that this is the 4th time for this showing up here, and the people are disgusted and feel that the city has let them down, and the comments I get is that they're going to get whatever they want anyway, so why do we bother?
Just no letters, no.
Pardon me?
Do you have any letters? Anybody? Any other?
No,
Okay.
no.
Thank you.
No, but I have plenty of facts, and if you read all the background on this and all the hearings on this, there's 5 of them. He was approved in better commercial areas that did not have effect on residential areas, but decided to, and approved, but decided to come to this.
Thank you, sir.
And Mr. Sorrell, I have a question. How many times have the police been out? Do you have the police
Pardon me?
records? Police records?
Do I have a police record?
Yes,
No.
sir.
But my house, I have a friend and his wife living there, and they have had to call with people knocking on at 2 o'clock in the morning, or midnight.
Yeah, I understand that, and what would be needed is some documentation of the
Okay,
problems.
all right.
So-
Well, the documentation is this is not a growler. This is a bar. 1, 2. I have had the city come out and fortify 10th Avenue because the parking, they're tearing the side up. They put cement. If you go, you'll see the cement.
Okay.
And now you'll see it's worn down to where it's a water bottle depth again. So that's proof positive that it's a excessively
Thank you, sir.
used area.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I was going to see if the applicant could come up and maybe address some of the concerns.
We close at 10 o'clock. We haven't done anything that's outside the norm. We are just simply trying to add something that customers have asked us to add. And it's not going to change any of our hours. We're not staying open later. We do still do the vast majority of our businesses to go. And we're just trying to do what's been asked of us.
Do you have more seats than what you're supposed to have?
No, ma'am, we have 2 tables that seat 8, a table that sits 4, and then we have 8 seats down our front window. And I think our total capacity is like 30 or 28, somewhere in that range. So no, we don't have more seats.
So are you aware about just how many times the police and law enforcement has been out to address complaints, just anecdotally?
We haven't had anybody come to our facility, per se. We haven't run into that situation at all.
Thank you. Ms. Ireland, are you aware of any? Is that something you track?
I'm not aware.
Okay, thank you.
A couple of comments from my side. Certainly agree that's a problem area, especially when Mellow Mushroom and Salt Life's there. The parking's horrendous. It's crazy, at certain hours of the night. The unfortunate thing in this case is some of that overflow, I feel, is being directed at some of the other businesses. I've been by the Really Good Beer Stop multiple times. It's never crowded, never packed. Seems to be you know, they do a pretty good job of keeping it low key. So I would hate for us to make a decision tonight based on the surrounding business areas, or the surrounding businesses within that area for this applicant. So just wanted to make a comment.
Question for Ms. Ireland. Did the former conditional use permit have any additional conditions about drinking on premises or any?
The previous one did not. No, there weren't, the only condition placed on it was the application was specifically for beer only. The other applications that were referenced, one was for a different location entirely. I think 2 different locations. Yeah, I don't have all the details of all the previous applications because they weren't for this location, so they weren't really applicable. They were different parts of Jack's Beach.
Okay. And can I ask, I mean, I have to say I don't see much of a difference between beer and wine. So it's our practice if someone intends to only, we don't have kind of a, it's beer and wine or it's a full liquor kind of thing.
Really, the only difference is the type of permit that you get from the state of Florida. It's a 1 COP versus a 2 COP, which allows them to sell either just beer or beer and wine. So I know they're not physically expanding the area of their store at all. It won't impact the parking. It's really just another, it's like a hamburger place adding hot dogs to the menu, except it's beer and wine.
It's the applicant or the person running the business who makes that decision. They come in and ask for a beer license.
Correct.
Exclusively. Okay, understood. Thank you.
Any other comments or a motion?
I vote for approval. I make a motion for approval.
Second. Thanks, Doc.
I do have a comment. I'll make a comment now, because it's open for
Doc.
discussion now, correct?
Do you want me to take the motion?
Well, the motion's on the table.
What's seconds?
And you seconded it.
So I can make a comment now. I just think that with the hours they have, where they're closing at 9 o'clock during the week, 10 o'clock on Fridays and Saturdays, I just don't see that as being a real problem, because if you're going to be sitting in a bar and creating problems, it's after the 10 p.m. at night is when most of the problems occur. So I think if we're dealing with problems in the area, it appears to me from the data I've read that it's going to be more your neighbors than this particular place.
Okay, Ms. Ireland, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
John Scott Walker,
Approve.
Margaret Warren,
Yes.
Britton Sanders,
Yes.
Colleen Murphy White,
Yes.
David Dahl.
Yes, your motion's been approved. All right, Ms. Ireland, Ms. May, or I guess the city attorney wanted to come up and give us some advice tonight, which we're anxious to hear.
Good evening, Denise May, March Gray, and nothing earth-shattering, just to let you know that I will be training your new individual who's coming on, your new planning board member this month. We had been talking for some time about doing training, and now that you have your new city attorney on staff, who is doing the city attorney work, but they have retained me to do your land use and planning, so your board of adjustments, and so forth. And so I'm going to be putting together some training materials. So you may be hearing from me, because what I'd like to do and what I propose doing with all the boards, including the CRA, is to meet individually with you. I'll come here, your time, your schedule, make it convenient for you. That just is to encourage you to be able to ask open-ended questions to me that you may not want to do, and then we can do a full-on board training if you still feel that's appropriate. But I'd like to give you an open-ended to say, what area of the law have you found trouble with, or what do you know, and so that I can give you more one-on-one time. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. That was my reason for asking to be, why do you see me at meetings still when you have a city attorney? Answer that question, and to let you know that training is indeed coming, as we've been trying to do for a while. You asked me to address one other thing, so I'll address that now if you'd like. And that is, you know, stormwater and sea level rise and what's going on with the climate, and we don't know, is an ongoing issue for beach cities up and down the state. It will need to be addressed in the comprehensive plan and land development. Like the application before you tonight has It allows that density, and it allows 65% lot coverage. So those are things we'll have to look at, but we have to look at them systemically, and we can't look at them on a one-off basis. What kind of private courses of actions, if that, there are private actions for if the neighbor builds up his house and it starts coming over on mine and it's flooding my basement and I've got damage. Those private courses of actions are civil between the parties. They don't involve the city, and they include trespass or a nuisance, where you can seek injunctive relief, which is to say stop doing that, and damages. So that's, go find, please talk to an attorney outside if you feel that's happening to you. The proof is there, burdens are there, so you want to talk to an attorney as to whether or not that's something they can seek. But it sounds to me like as long as they're meeting our code, you're not going to have a problem with the development. We may need to look at what our code says, and it sounds to me like we will. So I'm here every meeting for your assistance. So if there's any questions you have, I'm here for those procedural questions or any questions on the law as it's stated in Jack's Beach Code. I'm here for that. I also want to give you my card tonight so that if you're going through a packet in the middle of the week and you prefer to call me and ask, in this particular situation or on these set of facts, how, talk me through that, I'm available for that. That's what we intended, is to get board attorneys to be at every single meeting, and board attorneys available to you to ask these questions of. You haven't had it in the past, so it's new, but I'm not here as punishment, I'm here as a help, I hope. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you, Ms. Mann. I'd like to make a couple comments to the commission. First, and Margot will probably be able to help me with this. There's a North Florida APA Planning Commission training that I'm sure you've been to. I've been to it. I've got the binder. That's an excellent resource for people that are interested in getting deeper into the subject. And it's a full day course, isn't it? 1 day?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. And it's, the last time I went, it was down at the Emergency Management Center, just north of St. Augustine. So that's one resource that I think we should publicize to, especially the oncoming people that don't have the experience.
Absolutely, it's good for planning overall, if you want to know more about that. What I'm going to focus on and what I hope to be a resource for you is what your code says and how that applies. Because every city has different code criteria as to what is your standard for a conditional use. I saw that wasn't in your packet, and I don't know if y'all looked that up, but there's 11 different criteria. So if you're going to vote no on something, here's what's important. If you're going to vote against something, it's extremely important that you put competent, substantial evidence on the records as to why you're voting that way. It's important when you approve something too, only because there may be a neighbor who wants to challenge. And so you could get challenged whether you approve or deny something. But particularly if you're going to deny an applicant, it's so important to put on the record, it doesn't meet criteria 1 because X, or it doesn't meet this criteria, such that if there's a challenge in court later, the important thing is that I now defend your action, whatever it was, because I can't do that without that evidence in the record. So that helps, it's good for the record, it helps me later on if there happens to be a challenge as to why you voted the way you voted. So those are the kind of things that I'm going to be trying to focus is your law specific and how that applies.
Okay, I have a couple more comments for the commission. Ms. May provided a very good, short, succinct document on competent and substantial evidence. And if you don't have that in your binder, you may want to get that from Ms. May. And the second thing is, of course, the conditional use standards that apply to all our conditional uses. And those are important. And then the comp plan elements, if we could get some training on how the comp plan elements guide the land development code, because that's the constitutional document that where we get our land development code from, and it has to comply with the comp plan. And then if anybody on the commission has questions that they would like training on for Ms. May, could they please submit them in writing to Ms. May, and she can read them back to us that she has this list of training, and we can prove we want to do it. Any other comments?
Can I add couple
Add some.
items. On the topic of sea level rise, we have a workshop coming up next Thursday, is that right? The 17th, I'm sorry, let me get it right. The 19th of December at 5:30 in this room here, we're gonna have a workshop on sea level rise. We received a grant from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. We have a consultant working on some mapping products that will help us down the road in some policy decisions. So we don't want to give too much away because you know how exciting it's going to be. We're going to have maps, maybe cookies, I don't know. Whatever it takes to get people here, I think I'm going to have to bring cookies. Next Thursday, the 19th at 5:30 if you want to come. I know I expect to see Margo there. And the next meeting is scheduled for January 13th. We don't have any applications in currently, but if we get one for the end of this week, we will have a meeting on January, and I probably won't see y'all till 2020. As always, thank you. Any questions for me?
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Meeting's over.